Oh, the excitement continues on the show because this is just a fantastic sport. It is so accessible to young people because really all you need is a disc or a frisbee, whatever you want to call it, and a field, and it's time to have some fun. I am joined by Jeremy Hill from Elevate Ultimate Frisbee. Welcome, Jeremy. Great to have you here. So for people that aren't familiar with the sport, tell us a little bit about Ultimate.
Sure. So Ultimate Frisbee, or commonly referred to as Ultimate, is a sport that's played all around the world with a disc, so something very similar to what I have here. And it's very easy to get into because to start, all you need is a disc and an empty field and a bunch of friends to play with.
What about the rules? Describe the rules for us.
Sure. So it's sort of a mix of soccer and football. So a field has two end zones and sort of a middle area. One team is trying to move the frisbee from one end to the other by passing it amongst their teammates and then throwing it into the end zone where someone catches it, and there's your score.
Okay, and you can only take a certain amount of steps or something, is that right?
Great question.
Yeah.
So when kids are learning, when they're younger, they usually say you can take about 3 steps. But once you get into actually playing the game properly and at older ages, there's actually no steps that you can take. It's just for slowing down, and once you've slowed down, you just have to pass it to one of your teammates.
Do you know where the sport began? And I know the growth has been exponential. What were the beginnings of this sport?
So it started in a college in the States. I forget the exact college, but it started there with a bunch of friends. And from there, it's progressed all around the world. It's played anywhere from kids starting at age like 7 all the way up to adults. So yeah.
What was your introduction? How did you find out about Ultimate?
I played a little bit in high school, so I grew up here in Ottawa. And then I went to university to play soccer, got injured, stuck with Ultimate, started getting on national teams and stuff like that, and then just never looked back.
I love it. Let's talk about Ultimate Camp, right? You have some Ultimate camps, 9-week camps that are right across the entire city. What does camp look like for young people?
Yes, this is our 3rd year back in Ottawa with Elevate Camps. We have 9 weeks of camp starting just after the Canada Day holiday. We have camps in Canada, Barhaven, more central area.
Okay.
And they kind of vary between just Ultimate or some partnership camps with some different groups in Ottawa. A day of camp is sort of similar time to a school day.
Okay.
In the morning, we focus on skills, new skill every day, and then the afternoon, we sort of take those skills, move them into games, and then sort of focus on that for the rest of the day. What
do kids have to bring along with them? Is lunch provided? They have to bring their own? How do they get there and back, sort of thing?
Yeah, so because we sort of move around from different locations across the city, and we are outside of a field, we don't provide lunch. We do ask them to provide sort of like a school lunch.
Yeah.
Other than that, they don't need a lot, and that's what's great about Ultimate is they can just show up with their running shoes, t-shirt, sunscreen and hat, and they're ready to go, and we'll take care of it from there. So.
Tell me about the coaching. Who's going to be teaching the kids out there?
Yeah, so we have a couple different coaches teaching this summer. Our 2 main coaches are Ultimate players themselves. One is a recent high school graduate who's actually lives in China for most of the year.
Okay.
She comes back and is going to be coaching with us in the summer. And the other is actually a member of the U24 national team.
Wow.
Ben, yeah. So we were just in Boston this weekend actually for a tournament. So Ben has a lot of experience. He plays at Carleton University as well. So the 2 of them gives both a male and female lead, which is great for our athletes, gives someone to look up to. They'll be our lead coaches for us.
I know it's a little off topic, but tell me about the tournament. How did that go?
Yeah, so currently coaching the U24 national team. So Ben is one of our athletes. We're just down in Boston for a training camp. And then we'll be playing the summer in England. So just really spreading Ultimate all over the country and world. So
that's amazing. So how many, when you go to compete sort of, as the national team, how many countries are involved now?
There's probably about 30 countries at the U24 level. Yeah, so it's really exciting to be able to play different countries and just see what the game's like in different parts of the world.
Canada as a country, where do we stand around the world?
Usually just behind the States. So
really?
It's usually a battle every year.
Oh, that's okay though. I mean, second place, there's nothing wrong with second out of 30 teams. So I guess it's kind of like hockey that we've seen between Canada and the U.S., right?
Yeah, exactly.
And especially women's hockey, right? On the women's hockey side of things.
For sure.
Some of those partnerships, you mentioned that you've got some partners you're collaborating. What do those partnerships look like?
Yeah, so this year we've sort of changed up our lineup a bit. We have a partnership with the Obstacle Course Group, OCR, who was on one of the segments a couple weeks ago, I believe.
Yeah.
We have some community groups, so Dover Court and Glebe Community Group gives more of a slower day for community groups, and then more of an Ultimate gives you kind of a mix of the two.
Oh, nice.
And then we have a coding partnership with a group in Barhaven. So kids who do a lot of coding can get outside in the afternoons, and then we swap at lunchtime. So kids and parents get the best of both worlds.
Nice.
Just experience more kids at Ultimate.
You mentioned in those mornings that it's more of training and learning those various skills. Walk me through what kind of skills are you teaching?
Sure. So you work on the basics of throwing usually to start. Just get the kids comfortable holding the disc. We have like a regular disc, and then we have smaller discs depending on the age of the kids. So once they get comfortable with discs, we kind of teach them about the field, where to go, how to run on the field, and like which directions is beneficial. And then we try and get it in a game scenario. We have a games-based curriculum in order to help them understand the full scope of Ultimate.
Right.
So we play smaller, little fun games, and then once they learn those skills, then we move that into the larger kind of actual Ultimate that you maybe have heard of. It
must be fun, coming from, coaching the national team. You've got two members of, the national team, men and women's team. Like for the kids to see that you've got, the best in the entire country that are coming. What's the response been like from the kids?
Yeah, it's great.
You guys must be like stars to them.
It gives them great role models, and that's what we focus on at Elevate, is just giving the kids something to look forward to. A lot of these kids have maybe never played sports before, or maybe definitely never heard of Ultimate. So it just opens their doors, and they can see where they can start and kind of where they can progress to, and it gives them a good outlook on it.
Jeremy, registration open now, and how do they register? What's the best way?
Yeah, so registration is open now. All 9 weeks of camp are still available, a couple spots. They can just go to elevateultimate.com, and you can see the different options there, whether it's the partnership or the regular Ultimate camp.
Excellent. Thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it, Jeremy.
Appreciate it.
Great job. Elevate Ultimate happening 9 weeks of summer right across Ottawa. So you've got Brantwood Park, Nepean, Canada, Glebe, and Barhaven. So it doesn't really matter where you are in the city. If you're looking to get your kid into something that's a lot of fun, and you're going to learn from like the best in the entire country, I mean, check them out. ElevateUltimate.com is the place to go. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.